After all that great, and he said no, yet it resembled the manner in which he said it. And he put his head down, he resembled no. I've never been squashed like that consistently in my life. No, me not going to get him, no reason yo that point was get Beanie Sigel to out this building Ronald with lower legs and everything, and the man resembled no that way was that I don't realize that way was only that was that me up Beanie Sigel dropped the stunner on Jay-Z on what might have caused the reef and hamburger among them, and general society is shocked about what they have realized. It turns out Jay quit mindful, and dealing with his craftsman and Beanie, couldn't comprehend the reason why precisely he had been deserted. I felt that was a genuine entertaining remark you attempting to divert, and what everyone was requesting that Jay failed to help him. Everybody was confounded when Beanie and Jay began tossing shots at one another, since at the level of their prosperity, Rockefeller record seemed like La Familia for genuine as Jay-Z woman. Run Beanie Sigel and Memphis Grimm were enjoying the good life of platinum plaques and earth-shattering music visits after all that great. And he said no, yet it resembled the manner in which you said it. And he put his head down, he resembled no. I've never been squashed like that always in my life. Well, as the maxim goes, nothing endures always. Jay and Lady floated separated, apparently because of Lady's consideration of Dipset to their group, and unusually Beanie Sigel's relationship with HOV additionally became stressed, and soon enough as time elapsed, Beans at last dropped a diss track, pointed straightforwardly at his previous home slice in a new meeting on Nora's Beverage Champions. Beanie focused on his days on the stone, and uncovered the specific second his relationship with Jay-Z started to disintegrate, discussing how he was engaging in endeavored murder and government weapons charges in 2003, when an adjudicator inquired as to whether he'd be answerable for Beanie out in the roads. And he denied. Beanie said he was shocked when HOV declined the obligation, saying, I never been squashed like that always in my life. That me up that removed a ton of that. I thought we had like that is huge brother, like it genuine, that at the time Beanie was wilding and continually getting into show any place they went, and furthermore coupling that with the way that Jay-Z was attempting to get his sacks and keep his business rolling forward. It's not shocking that Jay would pass on such an undertaking. Beanie guaranteed, thinking back on the occasion, he comprehends the reason why Jay would decline to be considered responsible for his activities, saying he accepted around then that Jay was feeling that he was erratic and was messing with, which he was. Nevertheless, he actually didn't see the reason why Jay would straight deny him. Beanie Sigel additionally dropped one more sensation on Jay-Z, on what might have been the beginning of the meet among Rockefeller and the locks that went through the mid-2000s. As per Beanie Sigel, everything began with Jay-Z's section on R. Kelly's Holiday remix, when Jay-Z got on the remix, which Jadakiss was initially on, and the locks thought Jay was unpretentiously making efforts. The strain between the two cooperatives made their hamburger one of the most significant of the time, with every one of the expressive hits and disses that were flung to and fro Beanie. In a meeting with Flav, said Kiss had that record. He was on that R. Kelly record. He didn't go after me. Jay went after them. After the party, it's the lodging campaign. And after the first, it's most likely this. He proceeded with it was a shot, since it's several joints that they was on. First, and Jade bounced on joints. And afterward you hear little stuff. We as a whole know who the best is. Enormous ain't here, so it was a ton of dim tempest. The two styles, P and Stylish Latch, have repeated a comparable opinion to what Beanie uncovered in past meetings, talking about the strain started from Jay-Z habitually showing up on tracks that Jadakiss and the Locks previously did. In a meeting on numerical Hoffa's my well-qualified assessment digital broadcast styles, said Beans was like us, yet from Philly. You definitely understand what Horde and Damon they were doing, so that was more private for me. Kiss and have continued to be on the equivalent remixes. And something happened, he asserted, Jay-Z showing up on similar tunes as Kiss, and it just felt like they were focusing on Kiss for him. He said Kiss Is our Derek Jeter, Where Are We From You, With One of Us You With Everyone in 2017. Shake offered something almost identical to what the past two had expressed, talking about beans in them, were saying some expressively, in light of the fact that they were smooth-talking them. Philly young men, they'd say some, so that is where I'd resemble gracious styles, get the firearms, where the them young men record it like it was what was happening in the end after two, and fro pokes, and diss tracks, which likewise incorporates the genuinely ongoing disclosure that Styles P was dissing J on 1998's Supply Canines, which might have helped start off beginning pressure. Jadakiss and Beans crushed everything before it went crazy during a get-together at Riverside Park in New York City in 2001. In a similar meeting, Beanie Sigel uncovered that he didn't need Jay-Z to hear his 2002 single Stone the Mick with Road. He examined how the single was made alongside its inclusion on the State Property soundtrack in 2002. And when Vlad found out if he knew Rock the Mick would have been a hit, he answered, nah. He reviewed that he and Disheartening should be chipping away at an undertaking together. Thus they went down to Miami to Circle House. And it was while they were working there that he met Free. He went on, so me and Free was in there. And I recollect that I was in one room, following through with something, and Free resembled yo. I maintain that you should come hear this record, he guaranteed, since at the time he'd in Dreary couldn't get in total agreement for reasons unknown, or one more, so he went to pay attention to what Free was offering. And he wound up enjoying it. Beanie Sigel kept making sense of the history behind the track before he uncovered that he didn't maintain that anyone should hear it, including Jay-Z. I didn't believe Jay should hear it until we completed it. Sigel said, I'm similar to brother, no one getting on this record. That joint was insane. Beanie Sigel and Jay-Z had great science together in front of an audience, yet had a convoluted relationship, since at every turn preceding Beanie's 2009 diss track, at Jay the two had proactively had a run-in and Beanie, despite the fact that Jay vouched for him. He was harmed that he additionally let the court know that he was not answerable for him. Fortunately, the two fixed things up before the 2015 title facilitated show, which saw them rejoined in front of an audience. And Sigel likewise conceded that despite the fact that he could have sorted things out with Jay, he lamented not having an open conversation about that. Immediately he said, we ain't never had that discussion. I needed to hear it from him. Like, where was you at? There was a ton that burdened me, that really depended on me. You got to have some sort of correspondence. Beanie Sigel likewise put any misinformation to rest about his tune. I go off highlighting 50 Penny, making sense of that it was anything but a diss track focused on Jay-Z. Like a few fans trusted it to be, he clarified for Vlad that the melody met up after 50 attempted to inspire him to sign with him. Whenever he was let out of jail, he guaranteed he needed to sign with G-Unit because of the issues Rockefeller Records was having at that point, and that sooner or later he combined efforts with 50 Penny to record I Go Off, which he guarantees didn't initially have anything to do with going after Jay-Z. That I Go Off was only a record that I ain't have no snare on it. Bean said 50 loved it. I send it to him. He thumped the snare off. He kept saying it wasn't actually necessary to focus on Jay-Z, the manner in which individuals are guaranteeing. Yet that despite the fact that the verses didn't have anything to do with Jay-Z, 50 Penny began talking insane. Beanie said not insane, yet you realize they got that peculiar relationship. They don't F with one another. However, at that point they F with one another. It's actual, however, 50's relationship transport with Jay-Z is unusual, and 50 generally has something negative to say about Hove, and albeit 50 never referenced HOV on the melody snare, he saved a space toward the finish of the tune to go after his long-lasting opponent. Definitely you change, man, you let the cash change you. J50 shouts you used to be from Marcy Sigal. Likewise dove into how he initially met and became associated with Jay-Z, referring to his companion Vabonic of Philly's Most Needed making the presentation, and that right after his most memorable gathering with Jay Siegel was given a record bargain. He said that he was old buddies with Bubonic of Philly's Most Needed, and after a relaxed rap fight, he said that Boo welcomed him to follow along to a Rockefeller meeting. Not long after that, Siegel was given a record bargain in the wake of meeting with Jay-Z. And Too Short, who were busy recording at the time it appears to be the hamburger, begun once again the way that Beanie had felt when somebody he held intently as an individual craftsman and home slice deserted him. Hopefully, they have crushed their hamburger to the place where they would meet in the studio and concoct something for the fans. A fan on Twitter said, "Unexpected how Jay-Z and B crushed the meat. Then hours after the fact and my misfortunes chinks tranquilizes." One more said, "Beanie Sigel and Jay's ought to have did a whole venture together. At any rate, we should not fail to remember that this video depends on hypotheses and my perspectives, and ought not be viewed as realities."